Hey there! Today we're going to talk about Cuphead. It is a punishingly hard 2D platformer run and gun shoot 'em up styled after cartoons from the early 1930s. Lovingly hard drawn, this game is extremely stylish. The whole thing recalls cartoons of the 1930s, from the audio to the visuals to the fonts to the characters in the game. Every bit of this game is bursting with 1930s style. Unlike retro video game, this is genuinely a game intended to look as it was made in the 1930s. The game itself is not easy either, although I wouldn't say it's as hard as a lot of people make it out to be. It is very forgiving, seeing as you're able to retry bosses levels at your own leisure rather than getting slapped with a game over screen after your continues are depleted. The fights are completely fair too, although punishing should lose you concentration and mistime a dodge or not memorize the way certain attacks work and repeat at the same mistakes over and over again until even the announcer begins to sound bored of announcing the start of the battles. The controls are very arcade, with 8 directional shooting, single jump, descending platforms and a special attack, but it also adds parrying and dash, which were way less common back then. Parrying is not the same as most games, as you can only parry certain pink bullets or enemies down by bouncing off it while in mid-air, working as a double jump. It does not shoot the projectile back at the boss, but instead gives you one full card for your super matter, letting you use a special attack for the decisive weapon you have equipped for a super attack if you hold 5 cards. You can have 2 weapons equipped during a level and switch them instantly whenever you want. The weapons in the game are situational enough for that I would switch them around for specific bosses. Though the chain shot is currently a little too strong, so I used it for almost every boss in expect mode when I found out its strength. But there is still a good use for the other weapons, since it doesn't give crowd control like spread shot and boomerang and lobber, bullets that drop after being shot, and chaser, chases enemies, let you have better positioning on some bosses. Every boss has multiple phases and are only 1-3 minutes long, but due to everything you gotta dodge all the time without much breaks, just 1 minute can feel way longer. This is sometimes I feel for Fury as well, another amazing challenging boss rush game I recommend. The boss phase transformations are very surreal, and they can go from being a couple Battletoads turning into a slot machine or a bird stuck in a birdhouse to a featherless bird carried in a stretcher spitting it up hard that attack you. You can choose between fighting them in simple or regular mode. Simple mode gives you linear patterns, while regular will be random, so you have to be more careful with what the bosses will do next. You can only get a contract by playing on a regular mode required to advance the game, but simple mode is okay for practicing the patterns. The difficulty of the bosses curves really well too. It starts out a little rough, but gets really challenging at the second island, and even more so at the third island. Then the finale after it's a true Saturn's work. The audio soundtrack is incredibly well done. All original music composed for this game sounds in pace for a 30s cartoon, as do the sound effects. Meticulous effort went into every aspect of this game design. It was hard to wipe a smile off my face while playing it, although a few bosses came close to achieving that. Beyond having a great time with this game, what's even more great that sometimes like this exists in this era of gaming, as well being a critical and commercial success. It gives me hope for the future of this industry. For newcomers, don't be intimidated by people complaining that it's too hard. It really isn't. Each fight is fair, and although admittedly some bosses for the most took the same amount of time to defeat that others took to completely the entire game, The joy of overcoming a challenge was monumentally satisfying. So I highly recommend this game, and it deserves every bit of the praise it has received. Looking forward to seeing what this developer delivers in the future, as there was no lack of effort put into the creation of this game. So this brings me to the end of our review. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for being very active on my channel. Bye.